Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Funding Deals Using Other People's Money class. I'm so excited to share a lot of this information with you today because we've got some incredible strategies for you to be able to go out and start investing in real estate right away. Even if you have bad credit or no money in your bank account, you can use some of the strategies that I have used in the past to build my real estate portfolio and to build wealth in real estate by funding deals that I find using other people's money. Now, this is module one. This is just the introduction module. I'm gonna talk about some of the things that we're gonna be going through. But before we dive into anything, you're gonna notice that there's a disclosure at the beginning of every module. We're gonna be going over that each time, so get used to it. And basically what this says is I'm not a licensed attorney, accountant, financial advisor, broker, or agent of any kind. I don't have any type of licensing, and even if I did, I'm not acting in that capacity right now. I'm not going to provide you with any specific counsel for you or for a specific property. This is just general advice. These are strategies that I have used, systems that I've created, and systems that I have learned from other people and that I've applied in my real estate investing career that have made me an awesome amount of money and made me very successful with what I'm doing, but it's also allowed me to scale my business. The systems that I've used have allowed me to scale my business and minimize my risk. And so I want to share this information with you. Understand that I'm just a student, just like you are. I've just had a lot of success, and I want to share this information with you. So let's move on. Now, for the first few modules, for the first several modules, actually, we're going to be talking about the funding strategies for fix and flips. And we're going to bust a lot of the myths that are out there, and we're going to talk about some of the systems and strategies that you can use funding your deals with other people's money and doing it safely and being able to do it at scale. So we're going to talk about, we're going to use a specific example as far as, property numbers. We're going to use an example property. Keep in mind that when we talk about properties, I am not promising you the income from that property. I am not saying that you're going to go out and find that deal and make that money. We're just using it as an example so that you can better grasp and understand the strategies that we're using as we go through this. So the deal that we're going to use as we talk about each of the fix and flip funding strategies, I've just pulled an example deal. These are actually pictures from a real deal that I did, but that's not the address. That would be awesome if it was, right? But that's not the address. We're just going to use this as kind of an example. So we'll call it 123 Main Street, USA. And that will be our fix and flip example that throughout the modules where we talk about funding fix and flips using other people's money, we'll refer back to the numbers that we're going to establish here. So in this deal, let's say that we purchase this property. We go through the negotiation process. And if you want to learn more about how to find deals like this one and others, refer back to our finding system class. It's finding off-market deals. We've got some fantastic information for you on how to go out and find awesome fix and flip deals and rental deals. Primarily, we're going to be talking about in this particular course, single family for the most part. Could be applied to duplexes, triplexes, but for the most part, single family residential properties. So with this deal, let's say we went out and we purchased it for $250,000. We plan on putting about $50,000 into fixing it up. Our target for holding costs. Now, when we talk about holding costs, what I'm referring to is the cost of using other people's money, right? When we talk about using other people's money, there's only one of two ways you can do that. And that is, number one, borrow it. And in that case, you're going to need to pay interest or some form of profit sharing. We're going to talk about all those things. The only other option to use other people's money is steal it, right? But that's you're not going to last very long doing that. So let's not use that one. Let's just let's talk about borrowing it. And when you borrow other people's money, usually you have to give them back more than you borrowed. That's how you incentivize them to let you use their money to go out and do this transaction. In this particular deal are other costs, which would include things like agent fees, marketing costs, closing costs, etc. We're going to calculate at $25,000. Now, just remember that this is an example. Not every deal is going to look like this. In fact, your deals will vary greatly from this. So our total cost on this project is $337,000. Now, for some of you out there, these numbers might look really, really high. And for some of you, these numbers might look really, really low, right? I live in the Mountain West in the United States, and these numbers are pretty typical for, for your average transaction, at least the purchase price, etc. for where I live, but these numbers will vary based on where you're investing, where you live. So keep that in mind. This is, it is scalable. So whatever your numbers are in a particular transaction, it's the principles that I'm trying to get out here. So our all-in cost on this particular example property is $337,000, and we've calculated using the systems that I taught you in the Finding Off-Market Deals course. We've calculated the after repair value at $380,000. So as we dig into this property, we usually calculate about a 6-month turn time. Sometimes they take a little longer. Sometimes they go a little faster. Usually I try to hit about 4 months. But I always calculate my numbers at 6 months just to keep me safe. Okay. So our potential property on this example deal, our potential profit on this example deal is $43,000. So using that, let's go in and let's start talking about some of the strategies that you can fund these deals so that you can start doing them right away. Okay, so that wraps up our introduction module. We're going to get into the next module here. We're going to talk about house hacking, which is a very popular idea. And I'm going to bust some myths around that in the next module. So I look forward to seeing you in module 2. We'll see you there.